What I'm about to share with you right now is full-blown, full-on happening. We've talked about events, the big event, the coming event, and there will be many happening because we are hitting specific tipping points that are taking us into new eras. It may not be one day, but it is definitely an event. What I'm going to talk about today is full-blown into that tipping point, which I discuss in my book in detail. We're in it now. It's not a coming event. I want to share with you what's happening. And if you keep your sanity during this, you're going to be just fine. I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. Let's go. Today I don't have mascara under here. I did a whole video with mascara running because I was sweating, and you know what? I really don't give a hoot what I look like. Some stuff's going on right now, and it's so prevalent that I'm noticing it. Influencers are noticing it. Other influencers are loving it and banking on it. And if you keep your sanity during this time period, you're going to be great. And I'm actually questioning mine sometimes. Why do I say that? When people are in situations and they're so rooted in their beliefs and limitations, they feel threatened by anything that's different to them because they don't like different. They don't like anything that isn't in their scope of beliefs. And things are changing in a big way. There are many people, probably many more than you can imagine, that are waking up on different levels. What's waking up? It's just awareness. It's not I'm awake and I'm going to heaven and you're going to be left here. No, it's not any of that. We are all perfect. We are all 100% of the Creator. We are the Creator. We are the finger on the body that functions and creates everything. And I just saw something recently that talked about if we are in a simulation. We've talked about that before many times. Of course we're in a simulation. Everything that's created that is not the perfect essence, core essence of you, is an illusion. It's a creation. It's an exploration. It's an adventure. All of it is. Okay, this is, some of you won't like what I'm saying right now. Archangels are part of it. Why? Because they aren't just archangels. They are the perfection. They are the one and a part of that creation that is appearing as an archangel. Some people see Christ when they die and go to the other side, and they come back and report this. Others see a Buddha, and others see Buddha's. Nobody worships Buddha, by the way. He's a prophet. But there are many, many things that are seen on the other side, that the beliefs that we hang on to here are carried over to that space. It doesn't end. There's no ending. There's no here and there. Oh, I'm done. Now I'm going to go to heaven or hell. And it's all made up. All of it's made up. It's part of the illusion. It's part of the stories and the beliefs, and you can change all of it and any of it because you are the Creator. Ye are all gods, meaning all of us are. All of us are one big pool. And you can't look at the ocean and say, we're the individuals here. This is what we are. I'm really, like, if I could go to another country and disappear, I would. But then I'd be there a week like I did on Instagram and realize I gotta do my job. And it's insanity. It's insanity. Here's what I want to share with you. Those who are seeking the light, those who are spreading the light, are going to be tested, are being tested. Not because it's difficult to speak these words or to continue this path, but because we will be inhibited by others who hold a lot of power in the material world, and that those who still have limiting beliefs will continue to believe some of the things that are out there that just aren't true and not recognize what's going on right now. I'm going to be more specific. We're being monitored big time on YouTube. Of course, AI makes it even more difficult because some of the things that we're saying aren't negative at all, but certain words are being flagged. I know some creators out there who have lost their advertising dollars on certain videos that were actually quite positive. It's becoming more difficult because just like the inventors who came up with free energy, there are those who don't want to see these things happen, because even if the world lived in total abundance, you wanted for nothing, lower density frequencies, people are choosing that. That's just a choice. We're not here to judge it. We have to live with it, though. We have to live together in this. Those who are in that space like control. And so when they like control, it doesn't matter. They can never have enough. It's never enough, because the ego is never satisfied. Now, when you're in an awakened state, you don't need anything anymore for satisfaction. Everything's a bonus. The material world's beautiful. It's fun. It's nice to enjoy beautiful things, but it's not a requirement for happiness. You can easily give the things away because you know that there's no end to the luxuries and abundance that exist for all of us, because when we're outside of our bodies, just a thought creates wonderful, abundant things. The challenge here is we know how hard we have to work for it. It makes it really unique. We know that our thoughts here create. And so many of you want to hang on to the stories out there that are still creating separation. It's mesmerizing, isn't it? It's addictive. It's addictive. And as I shared with you, it's like a crash. We all want to look at it, don't we? We want to see, did somebody die? Is the car upside down? Is there anybody in there? Who's being put in the ambulance? It's human nature. Why? Why is it? Because the contrast is fascinating. Because it's not really of our essence, but it's still a part of us. Because we're creating everything to know that, to know it. That's it. This illusion that we are in, it's one of the endless ones out there. Mars was one. Just billions and trillions of planets. Carl Sagan, billions and billions. Are all just experiences for us. That's all it is. There's entities and beings that are in existences that we can't imagine, that we fear because they can walk through walls and change into other forms, and so we're told that that is negative, and there's programming that makes us fear and separate, and we look at each other and we're afraid of each other's colors and cultures and the way we speak and the choices we make with our sexual preferences, and how we're threatened by it. Why? We don't like anything different than ourselves because we have gone into density, goes into that space that does not allow that freedom and acceptance. So the more you see fault in others, the more you see somebody who's not your color, and you think they're not one of us, they can't understand us, or they're inferior to us, the more you know that you are in the negativity, in the density. Christ taught everything but that. And that is that you do to the least of us, that person you think is below you, you do to me. You do it to me. Oh. I told you my neighbor, we're standing there talking outside, beautiful day. There's this beautiful little bug on the wall. And she's just standing there, wasn't doing anything. Smack, she killed it. And then she tried to kill a second one, and I literally, my whole body, I felt it. And I thought, this is how we function. We're so dense. There's a bug, I kill it. We're conditioned, you're programmed if you're in that state. Because it's allowed doesn't mean it's okay. Because you can spray chemicals on your lawn doesn't mean it's okay. Because those in density want us sick. We are expendable. We are in jobs we hate, and we're told that's responsible. Why? Because if somebody isn't doing those crap jobs and getting sick and getting stressed out and then taking all the bills over here to fix it, this doesn't stay in power and wealthy in a material world that it thinks is limited, or again, in ego state that can never get enough. If you are recognizing this, if you look at yourself and ask yourself, if I'm calling people evil or the dark ones or the this or the white hats and the black hats, hell, get a clue. It's programming. It's keeping you in that space. It's not going to be very pleasant when you leave this body. You're going to have to do it all over again somewhere. It's not going to be as nice. I think this is beyond a spiritual butt kick, don't you? You don't have a lot of time here in this scenario, and it's just a scenario. Yeah, you have eternity to keep trying these things, but this is an important game. It's not about winning. There's no winning anything because we are all perfect. We are of that beautiful, perfect essence that creates all of it. The least of us and the most enlightened. And we all have to live together on this planet in that state of being. So you better get used to it. I was on the bridge here in looking over the bay, and I was just saying, I need a little bit of guidance right now. Just a little guidance, some messages like, what do I need to do next? I'm writing another movie. It's about our future and how we look at this present moment as the past, how we evolved. It's going to be interesting. I think you're going to like it. It's called Red Mustang. And I thought, could just use a little bit of a message. A biker went by and said, it never gets easier. I looked at him like, why did you just say that to me? A biker going by. He looks at me, smiles, he goes, it never gets easier. I wasn't going up a hill. I wasn't on a bike. I was having a nice little walk with my coffee. I went, wow. He's right, it doesn't get easier. Don't expect it to. You know, what happens when you have expectations? You will experience great disappointment because no one can ever meet those expectations. No one you date or marry, your parents, those around you can never live up to your expectations. They're not supposed to. And you'll be disappointed. You'll spend your whole life disappointed. When do we accept one another, even the least of us? And so, let's talk about the sanity and the insanity. So we're being attacked, influencers. I see some nasty messages. Unwarranted. And my heart goes out to those people because they're in anger. Striking out to a person they don't even know on the internet who's sharing that you're powerful and beautiful and that we should recognize the beauty in one another, the light in one another, and not the faults and the story and the play, because that play is the teacher. They are the teacher that's testing you, the least of us. And so I see these comments and I see a great separation happening, even more so than I've talked about. I kept saying we're going to go into the shift, the separation is going to happen even more drastically because there will be those that are going to hang on to that even more because they see the transition happening. They see that people are speaking differently, believing differently. Open now to the fact that we do have neighbors out there. Of course we do. No, we're the only ones, and then anybody else is a cockroach out to kill us. No, none of the above. Another light beings in all forms, that's all they are. More advanced, that could help us, part of another game, another set of games that interacts. When you go to that next level, they cross over. And they're watching us. And as I shared with you, there are secrets here and answers to everything that will not be released, including our DNA. I mentioned that our DNA is not fully being fired off, right? Why not? It's there waiting for us to be ready for it. The secrets of the pyramid and the secrets in the Sphinx. We don't understand them. How could we not understand them? This was centuries ago. How could we not know this? It surely would have been passed on. It's all being held for that moment in time when we meet that frequency of those secrets that aren't going to be a secret anymore. It's just who and what we are. So you're going to have to keep on to your sanity. It's not going to be easy because you're going to feel like we're losing ground. Yeah, you're going to feel like when myself, influencers, I'm hearing a few out there going, wow, being attacked, it's part of the program. They are not to blame. Those in density, they enjoy this. They enjoy that power that they hold online. The internet is really fueling that because it allows faceless, nameless people to sit in their little closets, doing whatever, firing off because they're angry. They don't have anything else to go to. They could, but they're choosing their power in a negative way. So you may feel like you're losing it. You may want to go off to another country or go to the mountains, put on a robe and eat your rice, meditate for the rest of your life. And then when you transition, you'll go, there was a lot more I could do. There's a lot more I could do. I don't know how long I'm going to stay here. It could be a short period of time. It could be a long period of time. My family lives to be in their hundreds. I don't know. But I know one thing. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to feel like I'm going insane sometimes. And if you know what I'm talking about, let me explain the insanity. It means that you can't believe that you're actually interacting with people that are behaving in a way that's insane. People that would talk nasty to one another. It's insanity. It's insane, and it makes no sense. People that would put chemicals on their lawn because they don't want to weed, knowing that it's killing us. People that would say something nasty to another person because they can. It's insanity. Why would you ever do that? Why would you ever want to hurt another person? We're not all perfect as human beings, but you are perfect as the light being that you are. And you can go into that space at any moment and ask yourself, do I need to say this? Do I need to do that? Am I living that beautiful life? Am I afraid to go live that amazing life? Am I afraid to go live and break through fear? Am I afraid to do that because I'm afraid of what's on the other side of that? It's beautiful. And you'll never know until you break through it. I'm going to have to do it. And it's not going to be scary. You're going to go there and say, that's it? There's no boogeyman under the bed or in the closet. Maybe a couple fairies, a few orbs, plotting you and going, it's an illusion, my friend. And it's in your head. So when you tell me these stories about the so-and-so councils of the blah, 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 who oversee the whatever, and they're controlling. Whoa. A, where'd you get that stuff? B, did you actually meet these people and have a discussion with them? No. I have distinct memories of being on another planet, and I can give you details about that. That's proof enough for me. Is it true? I don't know. Does it matter? No. No, it doesn't really matter. It's just sort of fun stuff. But when you get hung up on all this stuff, why? There's nothing to know. Read my book, there's nothing to know. I call it the knowing. The knowing is that you don't have to have answers anymore. It's not required. Because you can't possibly know. You cannot know. I cannot know. No one has those answers here. Because we're in a form that isn't meant to have those answers. That is the opportunity. That is the quest. Can I go to that space anyways, even if I don't have all the answers? Because my little pea brain can't handle that. Yeah. The essence of me is endless. But here, we have self-imposed limitations. That's the game. Come together as one. See the light in the others. Tolerance. I talk about the meek. Somebody correct me. She doesn't know what the meek means. Oh, please. It's kindness. It's acceptance. It's peace. It's not weakness. It's taking action. It's not sitting back and saying, I'm okay because I'm not harming anybody. It's saying, but what else are you doing or not doing? I launched a company called digitalexplorers.net, and we are creating businesses to change the planet. It's not easy. This is a big effort for my students to say, I'm going to have to do something. And they're loving it. And it's changing their lives, and they're going to earn money doing it. You guys have seen, this is a free webinar. Come on over. It's not easy to take that step. Or you could spend your life destroying the planet in whatever job you're in and tell people that they should, give away free stuff, do nice things, give away free stuff. But you can earn money doing negative stuff. You have to stop buying the crap. You got to stop supporting the world that is destroying us and create the one that's beautiful. Listen, you can put anybody out of business. They're not going to go under. They're going to just change what they're offering. If somebody's selling something that's, horrible for our planet and nobody's buying it, they'll start selling stuff that's good for the planet just to make money. I don't care what their intentions are. I just care about the final result. What are you fueling right now? What are you fueling? What are you putting in here? What are you putting on here? What are you buying? What are you doing and you're not making the effort? You can feel like you're going insane because you can't believe when you see how people behave that you're here walking around in this. And it makes no sense. Don't try to make sense out of it, because it's like me putting you in the insane asylum and you trying to have a conversation with the crazy people, who, by the way, live in their own reality. What's crazy? We're all crazy on some level, right? I don't mean that in a condescending way. Craziness is a state of being, and they're choosing it. Maybe some of them just couldn't take it here anymore. I don't blame them. But don't try and have a conversation with that. And that's what some of you are doing. You should, because I'm spiritual and you're not going to go where? We're all equal. If you're talking that way, you're still in separation, right and wrong. There isn't any. It's all experience. I'm going to try and keep my sanity. I'm going to have a cocktail once in a while. Spiritual people aren't supposed to do that. I remember somebody said that Eckhart Tolle drinks wine. Are you judging? Start looking here. This is getting serious. Something big's happening. Something big is coming. And if you don't experience it, maybe you're just not participating in something so beautiful that our entire planet will change. You got to stick to your guns. You cannot participate in the right and wrong and arguing with one another. I welcome conversations. I welcome them. Can we have them in peace? I hope you'll subscribe. This is what keeps us going. This is what keeps these channels going. Or we can go away. Some people would like to see that. And they will applaud when they get you guys arguing with one another. They start it, they love it. Don't get hooked. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.